We are doing a combined review. Why? Because they were good, but not necessarily, whole video worthy. So let's review and let's dive in. Back to Long Box Diving, where we review comics and story arcs pulled from the Long Box. Now, we're doing a combined review. This new comic book day came, and we have a couple that I wanted to review, but not a whole video worthy. I don't know. But they were okay, so let's cover them in a combined review and just see how this goes. So first, we want to talk about Contagion. All right, this was actually pretty good. I think we're either close to the end or at the end of this. Some type of fungus virus thing has come out, and as it attaches to people, it actually absorbs like their consciousness into itself, and then it puts tendrils and links of fungi and able to control them, but also absorb the powers in a way. And it's taken almost everybody, right? So it's got like powers of the Fantastic Four and the Avengers and Luke Cage, and it's got Strange. It's got everybody, right? So how do they fight this? They've got one Iron Fist, or two Iron Fists. They got Pei and Iron Fist. They've got one of the Wrecking Crew. They've got Jessica Jones, and they've got Moon Knight and the Thing, and one little mystic guy. They don't have a lot, and they know they've got to defeat this some way. Moon Knight has come up with a plan, knowing that he is multiple personality. He has multiple personalities. He believes that he can enter this and able to find out how to defeat it. So he throws himself into it, and being inside, he was able to actually fight off the tendrils and get to where the prime consciousness was. And the prime consciousness is like, help me. And well, how do I do that? Well, you got to cut the tendrils. At the same time, Pei had somehow gotten taken over, and he was able to help Pei by cutting the tendrils. And she was fighting off, protecting him while he got to the consciousness. Well, everybody in the shared consciousness heard the plan. Cut the tendrils. So she goes and releases everybody and Moon Knight. So he really didn't do anything but protect Pei, and Pei was actually the hero of this. Kind of sort of his plan, but she actually executed it all. And as a little kid, got everybody released. They came out, and then the Fantastic Four steps in. Sue puts it in a bubble, takes it back. They put it into a shield that's kind of like a goldfish, won't get any larger than whatever container it's in. They cover it in vibranium, and that's it. It was some sort of virus, fungus, that was turned into a weapon by somebody at some point. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad. The whole series has been, DC's probably a little bit better, but it was okay. So now the next thing I wanted to review is Dead Man Logan, number 12. Also, this was actually a really pretty good. It's by the same writer, Brisson. So, and this one was actually a really pretty good series. Old man Wolverine goes back, and he's trying to make things right before he dies. We saw in the last issue that Luke Cage's daughter was shot. She ended up grabbing the hammer and became Thor. It was funny because she actually gets the Thor accent as well. So they actually point that out, kind of make a joke of, hey, you got the Thor accent? She goes, well, apparently, yeah, I got it. So they fight off Sabretooth, which is a great scene. Wolverine, kind of just slices him apart, and but the Regenix is done. His healing factor is over. He's injured, and he's like, just get me home. So they drive him back to his farm, and he's sitting in front of the graves of his wife and two kids. Basically he says, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I should have been there for you. I should have protected you. I've never felt like I was at home except when I was here with you guys. It was very touching, right? And he says goodbye to Bruce. I'm sorry that I left you. I didn't mean to. Says goodbye to Danny. And it was really a good scene. And then it shows him, he kind of falls over, and then he looks up and goes, please forgive me when I go see you, and has this light come down on his face, right? And it narrows in, and then poof, he's gone, right? And then we go flip back to Danny and Hulk, Bruce, and they've added the fourth cross there, and they've buried Wolverine, and they head on their way to go do whatever they're going to do. I guess become heroes and rid the world of villains, maybe? I don't know. But either way, it was a very touching ending to this. It was very good. I like how they ended it, right? He went back, he made things right. he died protecting those he loved, and then he was able to be buried, and that touching scene at the grave with his family. Very well done, Mr. Brisson. And lastly, which that series, all 12, was a recommend. That's a pretty good series. Lastly was Silver Surfer Black. All right. Now, it was an okay series, but I never really got the point. I guess it was beyond me. I know what's happening and stuff, but it's just weird. The art was kind of weird. Him fighting Null and things of that sort, all weird. I know people really like it, but it's kind of me. It's like, what was the point of this? Now he's released his cosmic and he's become black energy. I don't know. I don't know what's. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I do know that looking at this art makes me think of all those shows I watched where somebody was on an acid trip. I mean, when I'm reading this, it bugs my brain. And every show I've ever watched where somebody's on LSD, acid trip, they're everything bright colors and different shapes and a kaleidoscope type crap. That's what I was looking at this. I'm like, that's what I see. And then, trying to read it, and he fights Null, and he knows he's going to lose to the black because he's already lost a lot of his energy. The whole board is a sword. That was cool. He's able to take his board, turn it into a sword, and then he's fighting Null sword to sword. And then, he releases all the cosmic energy in one, big, this was actually just very, very cool stuff. Right. And he kind of defeats Null. Then he takes the star energy out of himself. He plants it into this barren planet, and it kind of explodes outwards into this energy, and he's going to create Zenla all over again, and it billows off the planet in clouds of seeds, and it's going to populate all these other planets. And now he releases all the energy that he's had as a light being, and becoming, he returns in the black. I don't really know what the point is of this. I don't know where it's supposed to go. I don't know why I even read it. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was okay. It was interesting, sort of. The art drove me insane. Not my cup of tea. So that one, I can't recommend it. To me, I felt like I wasted money. $30, whatever. If it comes into something, maybe. But I'll have other reviews up of some of the other comics. Like Excalibur's coming, things of that sort. And so some good stuff this week. Most of it was, for me, it was the finishing of miniseries. And so good things. But here's this review on these three. Some of them recommend, some of them are not. But it was a good week, and we're on to next week. So we'll see you next time here in the Long Box. Have a good day.